Article 19. Freedom of expression. Wouldn't that be nice? The freedom to write, to incite, to ignite uncensored epiphanies instead of marching on thin ice. Instead of leaving the thinking to power-hungry hands that ask, why bother rocking the boat when they can't swim to land? In times of dread, we tread just enough to stay afloat because, didn't you hear? A liberated human can cause a country fear, so they assassinate characters, reputations they smear. Better to incarcerate, humiliate, keep us illiterate, hoping we don't read the signs. The ones that say, it's time for us to rise against our own indifference. Those who call our genius ignorance. Our countries are filled with crouching tigers, hidden dragons with untapped Prometheus fire capable of lighting minds. Sadly, fear turns dragons to sheep. But imagine a world where artists could speak epiphanies like lanterns wave down dark streets. Philosophers without the threat of persecution, we are the igniters who will write the solutions. We could be decades ahead if we valued dissent, took chances, made mistakes, unleashed our true thoughts, sometimes radical, unpopular, misguided, untaught, but watched as the best ideas bubble to the top and lift the whole world with them. Thank you. My name is Lucas Lane. Recently I went to the United Nations in New York City to discuss and voice my opinions about Article 19 of the Declaration of Human Rights, which is defending freedom of expression and information. I grew up poor, very poor. We lived in a very tiny apartment in Los Angeles. I always saw my mom. She was an educator. She taught poetry to students in high school, and she was a big believer in freedom of expression. Basically, there are so many high school students, public high school students in Los Angeles that go discarded, that people don't pay attention to. They're shrugged off as, I don't know, hood rats or deficient or, unable to go far because they have a disability. I don't know what it is. These kids are never given the opportunity to reach their full potential. So she realized that if she, through what she loved, which was poetry, if she could convince these kids that they had an inner voice, rich, poor, every race, every part of Los Angeles, no matter who you are, you have a voice, that they could go far and that they were capable of going far. And that's kind of rubbed off. I mean, she lived by example. That really helped me understand just the importance and the power of free expression. And to pay homage to my mom, I did a poem about Article 19. I was incredibly nervous, but I felt a great sense of privilege and responsibility. I mean, I am not the smartest, most qualified, most, amazing young person there is. But I have been given an exceptional opportunity, so I have to speak on behalf of the most exceptional of our generation. If I'm going to take time away from these diplomats, some world leaders, I need to make it count, and most importantly, I need to practice what I preach in order for it to actually mean anything. Because, we can talk for hours about what's wrong in this world, but if we don't lead by example, and for me that means giving a platform to those who don't have it, being tolerant of other people's ideas, celebrating our differences, then what was the point of me even going?
For the peace deniers
and violence justifiers,
for those truth quieters
and chaos riders,
let peace be our vision. Stick out your chest. That's where the protest comes from.
Stand on your feet.
Our steps are the heartbeats of the streets.
Mind of a dreamer.
Heart of a fighter.
Soul of a poet. Alone, we can't change the world.
But we alone can change this world.
Let peace be our vision.